Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlie and this is Dot Grid Prayers, and we are here to set up February 2026. But as always, let's start off with a wee flip through of January. I can't believe we're already coming into February. How crazy is that? January was a fun, bright, watercolor inspired theme. As you can see, I used the PET tape that inspired the colors, and I just wanted it to be fun and bright as a great way to set up the year. And January, I also did a bit of reflection from our Christmas and New Year's holiday where we visited family, but we are just getting straight into February this time. And of course, February is Valentine's Day, or kind of the month of romance, so I wanted to use my new Ferris wheel press dabbler brush pen, which is really nice to use, and it came in a set with some strawberry macaron ink, which is a really gentle pink. As you can see, it was a wee bit faint, so I did do my best to double up the layers, but it was really soft, and so I did end up going back later on to darken that up. But this is the beautiful PET that is all pre-cut, so these are all stickers, not like my start of the year setup where I had to cut out everything by hand. This one is all done for me, so it made everything so much faster. It did still take me a couple of hours just fiddling around and getting all the placement, but I wanted to use this PET because it's got such a romantic feel to it. And I thought it would be perfect for February's theme. And I wanted to kind of play on that romance idea with a wee heart cutout. And I did just take a couple of attempts at getting some placement of some of these. I did put a rose there, then decided it was still not quite balanced. So I actually went back in and found a different sticker, which you can see me doing there, which I just wanted to kind of bulk up that little space there and leave a few extra leaves just floating in the middle, which I really like, that little breakthrough moment. Here you can see that I went in with that deeper Tombow. So this one is the 837, and then going over with my gold gel pen just to add a little bit of detail because I love gold and a little bit of shimmer. Now just a sneaky little close-up because it deserves its moment. I also wanted to really highlight this PET, and so created a kind of cutout waterfall tab around some of those florals just to give a little bit of extra drama, if you will, and using my corner punch. Now the page wasn't quite done yet, so I added in some second line highlights with a couple of really soft brush pens in really muted pinks. And then I decided to add in a little calendar to the front page, which I've never done before, but I added it in because it felt a little bit empty. I'm not sure how useful that's actually going to be. But moving on to the monthly log, and starting with those Tombow brush pens, the 837, 912, 917 and 772, and I'm using the 912 for my monthly log. Again, doing my full spread calendar for my monthly log. I just find this so much more beneficial for me and how I work with my planning. I like to see everything laid out and having space to add in multiple items for each day. Going back in with more of the PET to frame that on the spread. And I've just used my guillotine to cut these stickers in half before I put them down. So I've got nice and crisp lines to fill that. Determined to try the strawberry macaron ink again by Ferris wheel press. The dabbler brush, I don't know if it was running out, so I was just dipping the nib into the ink as well, just to get a little bit more body for that. And finishing off with some gold days and numbers. Now moving on to the next spread, which is my gratitude page, and I love how this one came out. I decided to put the cut edge of the flowers on the inside of the page to create a box, which I think actually worked really well, and it again just gives this PET the moment that it deserves because it is so beautiful, and cutting out the waterfall or the edges of the page just really highlights the beauty of it. I wanted to just throw in a little real time because if I kept the entire cutting out process the speed, we would be here forever. So I did drop that down from 10 times just so you could see how slow and steady you need to be. And this is why the setup took a little bit longer, because I had moments like this. But I am so thrilled with how it came out and really like the box effect that I created on this page. I haven't really framed it for a little while, so really enjoyed that. Moving on to the other dashboard that I usually include, which is my habits, and now I've made it a focus page. So this just gives me a kind of overview focus for any key things that I want to kind of hit this month for goals. I found that using the word goals could be a little bit daunting, so focus just kind of changes that perspective and mindset around what I'm working on for the month, and have found that to be really, really helpful. And so that is that spread done. Love how this came out and the combination of the florals, the colours and the stickers. Moving on to my monthly collection, which is of course my daily scriptures. And here I am just matching in as best I can some florals to fill that cut edge. So it was a little bit of a puzzle. And then going in and framing that page as well, because it just looked a lot more effective. I did muck up there, so did use my Tombow whiteout to just fix that little line up, but super easy to use. And the second page, of course, is just really simple because there's 28 days. I only need 2 pages or 2 spreads for my monthly collections, a verse every day. So adding in those lines for that page as well to just tie it all together. And felt after I'd done the lines that I just wanted to add in a little bit extra detail to the bottom there just to give it a bit more life. So just pick and mixed some flowers and leaves to just fill that space down the bottom there as well. Moving on to our final spread for this setup, and that is my vision for February spread. So I did this for the first time in January as I am working with a health coach to set some goals and really focus on my training and nutrition, and also training for my cycle and hormones and getting everything balanced. So that was really, really helpful to sit down and take some time to just really reflect on the bigger picture for February, write out some really key things that I'm working on, and also just give me a bit of space to journal it out, to process, mind dump what I want to see in February. And I love how the spread came out because I used that 912 again. It was more in that orangey tone, so I decided to add in some of the florals that use the lighter flowers. So as you can see, it's not all those deep romantic ruby reds from the other spreads. So this one was again just nice and light, which worked really well for what the spread is, just creating that open space. Now it's time for our final flip through, and I just love this theme and how it came together. These florals are just gorgeous and really set that romantic tone. The monthly log, that full page calendar, and that strawberry macaron just a little bit closer for you. These florals are just gorgeous and really just set this month up for me. My dashboard with my habits and focus, my gratitude page, and verses for my monthly collection. And finally, my vision for February spread. Thank you so much for joining me this month as we have set up our journals for February. I hope that you have been inspired. If you have and you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, happy journaling, everyone.